We have here verse 17 of the 7th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus has been teaching in the temple halfway through the Feast of Tabernacles and is arousing a certain degree of interest, especially among the religious leaders who, of course, immediately recognize that the depth, the competence, the insight that he's displaying in what he's saying shows that he should, by all normal measures, have had some kind of advanced education, and yet, as far as they know, he's had no such education. And so they're asking, they're wondering, they're actually marveling. John tells us with respect to this that Jesus is teaching as to how in the world is he able to pour forth this kind of information, not having had any formal training. That's really the heart of the matter. And Jesus responds to them, apparently just recognizing the thoughts that were buzzing in their heads, and indicates to them that the teaching that he's providing is not really the result of some kind of human educational process, but came directly from God, that the teaching that he's carrying on is a matter of God's direct intervention into his life and revealing these things to him. So he's not teaching of his own will, basically, is what he's saying. He's teaching that which the Father has shown him, and it's the will of the Father. And then he adds this very interesting additional comment, verse 17, beginning with Ian. This is the word if used with the subjunctive, and so it refers to an if kind of situation in which the answer may be yes or no. It's not a given that the answer would be in the affirmative. So if, tis, the indefinite pronoun, if someone or anyone, thele, this is from thelo, I wish, I want, many times followed with the infinitive. In this case, it's the third person singular present active subjunctive. The word an will ordinarily take the subjunctive, and that's what we have here. So if someone wishes or wants, to thelema, this is the word will. Actually, the word thelema is related to the word thelo. They have the same root. However, thelema is a noun, a neuter noun. It refers to will, and that's what is in view here. So if someone wills or wants the will autou, the genitive singular masculine pronoun of him, referring to God. So if someone, the will of him, of God, poiein. So if someone wants to do the will of God, the word poiein from poieo means to make or to do. And so if someone wants to do, that's the idea, really wants to do the will of God, if in their heart there is a disposition of obedience to God, then certain things are going to follow from that. However, by implication, if a person doesn't want to do the will of God, then they're going to be blinded in the very same way. And so that's really where Jesus is going with this. If someone really wants to do the will of God, genosetai, this is from gnosko, I know. It's the deponent future, so gnosomai, I will know. This is the third person singular, future active indicative. He will know. So anyone who really wants to do the will of God, he will know. Peri, the preposition takes the genitive, will know concerning or about. Tes, the genitive feminine article concerning. Tes didakes, the teaching. We mentioned that in the previous verse. This word didake is a word that means teaching or doctrine, and he will know concerning the doctrine. Poteron is a coordinating conjunction. It means whether. It usually introduces some kind of contrast or comparison. He will know whether. Ek, out of, preposition takes the genitive, to, the genitive article, and theou, the word for God. So he will know whether out of God or of God, esten, it is. Third person singular of me. He will know whether it is of God, or the a there is the contrasting part of this now, ego, and this of course is the word, we get the word ego from this, the personal pronoun, first person. Ap from apo, preposition takes the genitive, amautu. This is the reflexive pronoun, myself. It's usually a self kind of word, himself, herself, themselves, that kind of idea. This is the first person, so from myself, lalo. This is from laleo, contract verb. First person singular, present active, indicative. So bottom line here, if someone really wants to do the will of God, then they're going to know. They will see, they will understand that this teaching has its origins in God. They're going to have a clarity of understanding. But if there's a prior hostile disposition, a person not willing to do the will of God, which of course by inference is exactly what Jesus is saying regarding this religious leaders who are standing there mystified, and really Jesus says they're going to be blind to understanding the true source of the information that he's providing to them, simply because they have a heart that is inclined negatively toward Jesus, and as a result of that, they're going to wind up empty-handed when it comes to their inquiry as to how it is that Jesus came to have this insight, this information that is being displayed through the things that he's saying.